Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ironside cast with me Matt. Maybe free for you all here on Remarking. I've got a new keyboard, so I'm wondering if the clickety-clacky will get through today, but anyway, we're on the Eastern Front, but we're on Remarking. Let's go through the players. Let's start with the Soviets. We have Mist Moon here, playing as obviously Soviet Union without a commander choice yet. We have Poot, also without a commander choice, and finally, we have General Kaiser as motorist relic straight out the gate. I think you must pick something soon. Represent the Germans today. We have Smokey straight to give it Ostdivision for the Wehrmacht. Arrange counter with propaganda tactics for the Waffen-SS. Rounding up, we have Alpha Skitari as Leichter Division for the Wehrmacht. This could be fascinating to see how this turns out. So we're probably somewhere in Eastern Germany at this point, seeing as there's got to be Volkssturm, I imagine, at some point. That's one of them did go propaganda, but it does not mean they will go Volkssturm, but they have gone Volkssturm. Germans pushing up pretty far here. Ready to get into a position to try and hold back the advancement of the Soviets. We're taking a little bit slower, building up caches to advance first of all. Looks like Huda's gone for tank destroyer. Mist Moon has not yet picked anything. So the Germans are soon going to encounter the Soviets here. Pioneers did manage to get behind cover here. They did take one volley though. Lost a member, that's a big deal. And I think I might actually allow the Soviets to win that engagement. But here comes the Volksgrenadiers, which could turn this around. They seem to get behind cover, but they're all moving up here to this destroyed Stuk. You know, we also have the Soviets up here in the farm. Oh no, that's a very bad retreat path. That's a dead Sabber. Looks like Mist Moon had a very hard start. Meanwhile, Poot is slowly advancing on the center against the Waffen-SS who are holding the railroads. We do have some actual Waffen-SS Sturmgrenadiers here, which will do a lot of work. But behind this, we have Volkssturm coming up to capture territory behind the lines before they'll join the main fight. Also, the Sturmgrenadiers might get overrun though by the conscripts. Force them back. Sturmgrenadiers remain in a good position though. Getting some good shots here on the Soviets who are slowly getting closer. Trying to get a Molotov off. We do manage to get the Molotov off. Denies the cover, and then a second Molotov. Killing one of the Grenadiers, but they're still holding on. What's going on? The Wehrmacht is also engaging up here. Using some high ground. Fighting against some Strelki here. Oh, well, Pontaviki. Used to be called Strelki before. Gullwagen with an MG42 here for the Leichter Division. Mobile suppression platform. Pretty damn useful what it does. Maxim's slowly being rolling out here for the Soviets. Still no command shots from Mist Moon, but the Wehrmacht is sticking in. The Soviets are going to have a little bit of a harder time. And the Wehrmacht is pushing pretty aggressively on the northern flank. Montaviki trying to get closer up there, but the conscripts are in a bad position. Don't think they can get out of there. One last conscript trying to throw a Molotov. Gullwagen's going in for the kill. Oh, destroying some of the wooden fence. And there he goes. Gullwagen getting on the flank here. Trying to suppress those Pontaviki. Meanwhile, we have the Volkssturm quickly getting into the trench here. Trying to hold up this position. Looks like we have motorized for Mist Moon as well. A bunch of Volkssturm are now set up in this trench. It'll be a problem to get rid of, actually. They can hold that area for a while, just as a distraction. All the Sturmgrenadiers back here do the real killing. They are getting suppressed slowly. Looks like some of the Volkssturm are falling back. There's sort of a marksman rifle here alongside the Pontaviki. I believe this is a unique upgrade to them if you're playing as motorized. I don't think we have a Pontaviki from Poot to kill otherwise. Looks like more of the Wehrmacht's pushing up. They got a machine gun inside the building here. Might be an MG42 or an MG34. It's hard to tell. It is an MG42. MG42 is a pretty damn lethal machine gun. You have a Dushka machine gun coming up here for the Soviets that can chew through a Gullwagen instantly. Gullwagen has to be quite cautious if it wants to engage anywhere where the Dushka is pointed at. The Soviets don't have the most ground. But it's not that much of a difference, I think. The Soviets still gonna have a fair amount of resource to work with. So we have some grenadiers with a Russian anti-tank rifle. Post Division gets a lot of Soviet equipment they can equip, because the Germans did use a lot of Soviet equipment when they got their hands on it. Because the Germans just used a lot of captured equipment whenever they could, to be honest. MT-42 is gonna start ripping. Yeah, it happens. And immediately the Fundsvika decide to pull back out of that. So it's taking in with some trenches. Bring up some more conscripts. There's also a mortar from the Wehrmacht now. Apply more pressure. And Germans could slowly work their way under here if they want, or even back here. People don't realize there's actually a path you can walk down here in Remagen. Looks like the Soviets gonna take up hold in this little, well, not a little, but big trench. Meanwhile, looks like the Mthis is taking in on the railroad. They've even brought up an MG08 manned by some Foxsturm. So it's just holding their own ground. Both sides just sticking in for the moment by looks of it. I don't think the Grenadiers can hold that fight for long. That's a lot of conscripts, even if they suck at aiming. And they might actually be able to hold thanks to the Storm Grenadiers nearby. And the mortar shell hitting. All it takes is a few mortar shells to hit straight in the trench, and that fight is turned around.
Soviet HQ now includes a field hospital.
So the Mthis is preparing to push.
Seriously wounded.
Placing more Storm Grenadier. Looks like the Volkssturm is remaining behind by the HQ. Building up and then preparing to move. Duschka takes out the Kugelwagen up here. Good play there from General Kaiser. Using the advantage they have with the Duschka machine gun. Looks like a lot of it. The Grenadiers on the northern flank has been equipped with some MT-42s. It's gonna make this position very hard to get rid of. We have some all-done officers on the field here. So we see the front line for the Soviets. It's also Soviet mortar and counter-barraging. Soviets might plan to bomb them out, the Germans, if they can.
Listen up, men.
Oh, an airstrike potentially. That could happen. Looks like the Soviets are making a push here for the farm. The Germans have already set an HQ though. That's going to make it very difficult, especially once the MG-34 starts ripping into them. The Soviets are going to have a little bit of a difficulty pushing up here, I think. Indeed, looks like the Red Air Force is being called in. Here they come. Only doing minimal damage though. Oh, no, that's a little bit better. I think they want to try and get out of the building because they're very weakened. Foxsturm are trying to do an assault up here, but they're not the most efficient at assaulting areas. They're more used for holding positions. They're not very efficient assault infantry after all. But they can be utilized in it if you upgrade them with grenade assaults and such. They're throwing a steel hand grenade into the trench. Which did do some good damage. But the Soviets are still holding on. We do have an armored car coming up. There's some conscripts inside. They're going for a drive-by, but the Storm Grenadiers can move to intercept. They have been upgraded with Panzerfausts. They're throwing a grenade first. Very good. And then, oh, he sacrificed himself. Well, that's an intriguing way of doing it. Guess that guy just wanted to get out of the war. In a very painful way, too. Anyway, we have some... And Untersturmführer arriving for the Waffen-SS. No officers for the Wehrmacht yet, by looks of it. Yeah, no officers for the Wehrmacht. Grenadiers are trying to push up here. They can be shot at though. And the Odon officers should be fairly competent with his bodyguard, actually. Yeah, they already got some kills there. Also with the help of the conscripts and sappers, obviously. You have some more Odon arriving here, some Odon engineers. Some actual Odon infantry. Perhaps the Soviets are planning something else here. You have some Panzer Grenadiers now arriving here for the Light Division. And a pack also being rolled up here by the propaganda tactics. Meanwhile, the southern flank of the Wehrmacht with the Ost Division is still just holding on. We do have a medic bunker here, but they can replenish. It's gonna make it much more difficult for the Soviets to fight on. Well, the Soviets do have 4 HQ anyway, so they can also hold on. It's gonna be a very long drawn-out fight here, I think. Notice that the Red Air Force is being called in again. Just gonna prompt the Germans probably try and get out of there. Here they come. Oh, even the machine gun pulled out. So the Soviets have air superiority today. Oh, we had the Odon sneaking around here. Need to be cautious though. They've been spotted. Ah, because there's an Aufklar over there. It was a good attempt, but not enough. Armor car trying to push up here, but there's a Panzerbüchse. Injuring the driver immediately, so they have to pull that back when the driver is replaced. Not looking good for the Soviets there, but the Soviets are preparing to push up. Yeah, brought a flamethrower, but it's going to get mowed down out in the open. And the MG42 is lethal. You can quite clearly see. Mines also being laid on the road here by the Foxsturm. And MG42 is just proving how powerful this is as a machine gun. I guess they're waiting for more munitions they can call in another airstrike. Sabres trying again, but they're just gonna get mowed down out in the open. There's no cover here in the approach. Ah, but the Kransk's being used to merge in constantly to maintain field presence. That's something you can do. Instead of being called here by the Untersturmführer. Forces the machine gun back. Also, the Foxsturm are preparing for a push again with the Waffen-SS. More trains have been prepared by the Soviet Union. They've also have some guards to hold the railroad there. Looks like it's turning into quite a static fight here. More trenches also being laid. And we have a bit of a mortar fight by looks of it. Panther turn being established. It's going to make it very hard for the Soviets to push up down there. An armored car pushing. Takes out the Aufklarer. Radona holding out there. Looks like the Sturmgrenadiers are trying to get close here. But this little angle is not enough to get through. They can do it. It's risky. They do manage to get it off. There's also a Puma up here. I don't think the Odons can push up further. More till we've been calling here on the Soviet trench lines. They've set up another HQ up here. T-34-76 has reached the front lines. If it avoids the Panther turn, it can actually do a lot of damage to this part of the German front line. Indeed, the Soviets are advancing. Realize they might have an opening here. But it's getting close to the Panther turn. Panther turn can see it. Well, actually, it can't. Good grenade assault there from the Soviets that did a lot of damage. They spot the Panther turn a little bit too late. But Flamethrower is doing a good way on the machine gun. And now the Soviets can actually push through. The Panther turn has no anti-infantry capabilities at the moment. If the Soviets can just push through down there, they can overrun that position. But the Germans are doing an artillery strike here to try and counteract that. But the Germans just lost everything down here. If the Soviets can just move quickly, they can get through. Meanwhile, the Wehrmacht is pushing up down over here. Pushing through some Pioneers and some Grenadiers with the Puma for support. And lots of action right here. We don't have to start holding on too well. Also, sappers are arriving. Need to move quick though. There's still nothing protecting the Panther term. Of course, the Soviets don't know that. Machine guns are now here to stop the Fogstorm and Storm Grenadiers. Quickly getting suppression now. So it's need to move very fast. Yeah, moving. They still see the Panther term has no defense. Artillery being called here by the Untersturmführer. Not an armored car called in, but the Puma can just kill that easily. Do have an MCHA Sherman, which shut down the scout car. But the Soviets are pushing, and they need to get down there quick. There's no machine guns to stop them. The good use of smoke right there. You have one squad of German grenadiers arriving. Satchel charge being tossed there. They did a good bit of damage. They just need to do one more. Well, technically two more, but at this point it's very damaged. Into pushing up here. Looks like the Puma did get taken out. Panzerfaust being used there on the MCHA, not doing too much. Lost the turrets, but this Puma is recoverable. So the Soviets could steal it. Looks like the Panther term got taken out. The Soviets are now advancing. Soviets do have one of the best abilities, not many abilities, but means to turn a battle around again because of attrition. The Soviets are slowly just turning this fight around. We have a Panzer IV arriving here for the Light Division. Scout Guard taken out. And I want to just deny the Puma. It's a little bit too close to the Soviet lines. It's not something that's going to be easily recoverable. Especially with the Sherman right there. Oh, Sherman takes it out. Fogstorm are being pushed southwards. Try and stop the Soviet push. Need to turn the machine gun around. Might be too late. And the Fogstorm is spreading out. We managed to suppress one squad. Grenades are being tossed. That's more than enough. But the Soviets did see that they basically was able to punch through down here. They can do so again at some point. Soviet lieutenant also being pushed forwards. Soviets are sending up more and more infantry. Good grenade there. Soviet officer getting inside the structure. Another HQ set up here. We also have the Untersturmführer with some Sturmgewehrs, Volkssturmgewehrs to be exact, I think. The fighting is getting very intense over here. This going on, the MCHAs are pushing on the Panzer IV. Panzer is also pushing northwards alongside it. The Soviets have the capability of just applying pressure everywhere. Panzerfaust going up. Hits the Sherman and takes it out. Meanwhile, the Soviets are trying to get a position up here. They had stolen the MG-42. Katyusha being prepared. Kill the Soviet mortars in one. Wow! Hood is just going for tons of conscripts to flood the front line. They probably have gone for rifle commander rather than anti-tank then, if you ask me. Or artillery. Artillery is also pretty good at it. Being a static fighting force that just provides a lot of support. I feel tank destroyer is a little bit wasted, I think, with all these conscripts, but who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? I'm sure they had their own plans. Fish opening fire. Well, these rockets could do a lot of work if they hit correctly. They land a little bit widespread everywhere, so not the most useful. Looks like the Germans have stolen the Cis gun here. And they've also got a Panzer IV-H. 57mm anti-tank gun has arrived for the Soviets as well. which should have a pretty decent penetration chance. What I remember. Yep, like that. That's good. It does do a lot of damage, but it has a much higher chance to penetrate than the Mthis, I believe. Well, than the big gun, rather. Flamethrower got close up to the structure again. Up here, the Germans are slowly pushing forwards, but the Soviets dug in. Need some more armor support, though. They are lacking in armor at the moment. The Soviets keep pushing forwards here. If they get close to that structure, they can deny it. Throwing a grenade inside. Didn't do a lot. Oxsturm also pushing forwards again. Also the Sturmgrenadiers and the Panzer IV. But they're dealing with a very fortified Soviet line, but it's mostly manned by conscripts, which cannot do a lot in a long-range firefight. They're just there for holding purposes. Especially with all these high-quality units. Especially with the Untersturmführer leading the charge as well. Sturmgrenadiers are pushing forwards. Needs to stay behind cover, that's the wisest move. These conscripts won't do a lot, but just slow down the Germans, I think. They're just opening fire again. In the round here, by the looks of it. Oh, got a good shot there under Volksturm. That's a force holding on though. But the 57 is turning around to get some shots. While this is going on, the Wehrmacht is pushing northwards with their Panzer IVs. The Soviets need armored support to stop them. Because they've been loaded with high explosive rounds now, so they can just take out infantry positions with very much ease. Soviets need to get some kind of anti-tank vehicle. They are taking up though, but I don't think taking up is the wisest move here. I think going for some T-34s or MTS Shermans might be the wisest idea, in my opinion. We have one MTS running here for Mist Moon. That's going to be the Dawn squad. Yep. Just double high explosive to take them out. And that's the power of Leichtid. They get this unique Panzer IV that can just fire high explosives right down or piercing, which really helps you deal with Allied and Soviet infantry formations and fortified positions. Down to you to be a very mobile and devastating force. Looks like we also have a Hauptmann, who is in the front line. He's calling an artillery strike. It's gonna be 10.5 centimeter. MT moving forwards. Panzer IV has a decent chance here, if we can hear it. Oh, MT managed to penetrate. Commander injured on the Sherman. Gonna have to pull back. Here comes precision artillery. Pulled in by the Hauptmann. I wouldn't call that precision, but it's doing a good bit of work somewhat. Just opening fire. Stemming down here by the looks of it. Yes, Ostrup on the field now. Oh! Sandbags really helped them survive that. Wehrmacht was pushing forward with their Panzer IVs. General Kaiser probably needs to get a MG or something. As long as this is taken, it's not holding on well for them. Artillery called in. Lots of artillery being used here. This fight is getting a little bit brutal. Eastern front fights tend to be quite brutal after all. The trenches are still holding though for the conscripts. But the Panzer IVs are starting to get very high in number. They could soon get to a point where they can just overrun the Soviet positions. Just roll over them, so to speak. Panzer IVs up here still remain an issue. The high explosive rounds just cutting through the Soviets. And the Panzer IVs are amazing at killing infantry, as you can quite clearly see. Inter pushing forwards. There's two MPs now, actually. The one got over-penetrated. Gonna force it back for repairs again. This is the Panzer IVs going on the flank. General Kaiser is really suffering here.
More of our troops have been lost.
I think one MT, the MTs have to focus up there, I think. So there's some rockets coming in. That was that the Panzerwerfer? No, that was it. Was it the Panzerwerfer? Was it called in by an officer? Never tell sometimes. Just the rockets being fired. Doing some good work on the Waffen SS. The MTs need to turn north. They need to deal with those Panzer IVs. They are on the move now. Let's see if it will be enough. Panzer IVs would have to switch back to AP rounds, which would make it slow them down. More rockets landing. There we go, they got some good shots in. I don't think the Panzer IVs are ready for this fight. That's one gone. And a second gone. And now that's going to be an opening that General Kaiser can probably utilize. Artillery going in for the center here. Oh, jeez. Lots of artillery. But the MTs are helping. But the Germans are not preparing to push for the center here. And for leading the way with a bunch of Volkssturm and some Sturm Pioneers. Soviet defenses are kind of faltering. Now the Germans also started pushing from here. They're getting more Panzer IVs. But conscripts suck at aiming, as you can see. The Volkssturm are actually able to push up. And just turning around. Needs to cycle down quick. Here they come. MTs are pretty damn reliable. Mr. Sherman is a good tank. We need to avoid getting too close to the Volkssturm. Volkssturm do have Panzerfausts. The Grenadiers pushing up to try and prevent the Soviets from pushing forwards again. Soviets are getting a T-3045 though, which will certainly be a good choice. Let's see. Germans just remain fortified down there. Where's all the Panzers? Oh, they're heading northwards? Oh, they're all preparing to push north together in a big armored push? Might be. But the Soviets are slowly advancing here. Bring up guards and everything as well. There's a Hauptmann though. Able to keep the ground held. The MTs are lacking in machine guns at the moment. They have been upgraded with their 50 calibers. Panzer IV is on the move. But there is a T-3045 arriving. Oh no, they're blitzing. '85 did not hit. Smoke in the front. Doesn't penetrate again. That's a lot of Panzer IVs. But it is risky just pushing forwards like that without any infantry support. the Cis guns are not doing a good job here. Or Cis gun, rather. Looks like Katusha rockets landing around them. It looks like the Mthis waiting in ambush. Got a good shite shot there. One Panzer IV down.
The enemy has destroyed a Panzer.
Panzer IV Aegis might have to pull back. They do have some Mthis coming up behind them now, though. Rockets are going in. That is from the Panzerwerfer, okay. But the Soviets need to repair those tanks. This 85 actually needs some repairs. Germans are pushing up again, facing against the Soviet trenches. Untersturmführer is a fully veteran Untersturmführer, he's veteran 5. He's another fighting at the front line. Tiger is coming up behind this too. Hauptmann jumping into the trench alongside the Untersturmführer. Lots of artillery is being called in. The conscripts are just not good enough at holding. They don't have the accuracy. Good grenade assault there.
Squad of infantry has been killed. Death before retreat.
So defenders are taking heavy losses here. MG8 sitting up behind as well. More artillery coming in. This is the bigger barrage, I think. From the Hauptmann, yeah. Lots of barrages. Looks like the Mthis still being repaired. Panzers are pushing forwards, but they're just gonna get shot to pieces. Tiger Ace is gonna reveal itself shortly. Oh boy. So it's a lacking infantry now to hold the front line up there anyway. Game's just gonna start driving forwards though. That's gonna make the Panzer IV refinger a little bit. Mobility lost. There it goes. But the Tiger Ace is gonna reveal itself fully. 85 is going to relocate. Artillery called in. They want to deny the structure. Oh, that's a rocket-based artillery. Building still standing though. That's a robust building. Fun flash being tossed into the structure. They want to deny it completely. That might actually work this time. Lots of Soviet tanks are preparing though, but they need to get a move on. Second 85 is being prepared. Looks like Panzer IV Aegis are building up again. Lots of Panzer IV Aegis. Machine gun is managing to suppress the Storm Grenadier. Just might pin them out in the open like that. There you go. More rocket-based artillery. Building is now finally on fire. It denied the structure to the Soviet Union. Petition firing in return. In for the sender. Tiger Ace is advancing slowly. So far it's working out. Loading a high explosive round. They want to try and take out that structure, I imagine. Yep, hitting straight on the structure. Soviet armored force has been prepared though. But can it actually win that? Because the Panzer IV Aegis are preparing for a counter assault up here. Just all waiting for their upgrades. Artillery being called in here by the Hauptmann. So it's digging in further back. This part of the map is going to get flattened. Yeah, that's really hurting the Soviets. Looks like all the tanks are relocating northwards. We're gonna have a tank engagement up here.
The enemy has taken our supply sector.
We might end up having. Tiger is on the move. It's the Panzerwerfer's firing again. Aiming around here out in the open field. Panzer 4H is on the move. Panzer Assault. Ooh, and just as the MTs are turning around, because they want to try and overrun the Tigers, which is going to open up their flank. MTs on the move. They got a good shot there. Tiger is almost down. Tiger is down. That's why you do not move a tank up without probably supporting covering its flanks. Half on the flank. MTs are going to get overrun by Panzerfaust here. They're too close. Panzer 4H are turning around. Here they come. Driving over the open fields. The Soviet armor's just not prepared for this. MTs are gonna go down, and 85 is holding on. 85 on the flank. Another one down. 85 down there. Another 85 down. This might be over for the Soviets. Now the path is pushing up as well. As Raketenwerfer shots come in. I think this might be the end. Yep. The Soviets called it GG. A good match here on the Eastern Front. Hope you all enjoyed it. I will see you all next time, everyone. Bye bye.